Okay, got that.
Hello and welcome to a Royal Naval celebration of International Women's Day. We're also celebrating 30 years since women were fully integrated into the Royal Navy, meaning they could serve on ships and be part of the Royal Marines band. Today, I'm going to be joined by some inspirational guests who are keen to share their experiences. But before we meet them, here's a quick reminder of our chat room etiquette. During the event, you have two different ways to interact with the recruitment team online. Firstly, you have the group chat on your screen to your right-hand side. Here you can speak to other event attendees in a group forum. Secondly, if you'd prefer to speak to a specialist recruiter one-on-one, you can click the button below the video on your screen, which will open up a direct chat box. They are on hand to help, so please ask away. And lastly, please treat both chat functions with respect and be mindful not to share any personal details like your mobile number or email address. We'll be hearing from one of those pioneers from 30 years ago. Commodore Mel Robinson was one of the first women to command a Royal Navy patrol vessel and is passionately committed to fairness for all women who serve. But first, let's meet Amy and Liv.
Hi, I'm Amy and I joined the Navy in 2008 as an aircraft engineer. I joined up for the further education opportunities and the opportunities for sport.
Hi, I'm Liv. I joined the Royal Navy Reserve in 2020. I'm now a university student studying intelligence, cybercrime and counter-terrorism alongside my reserves career.
Here are two people making the most of all the Navy has to offer. Hello Amy, hello Liv, how are you?
Hi. Hello, good, thank you.
So I would like to ask, why did you join the Navy in the first place?
Well, I joined because I went to an open day at Britannia Royal Naval College and I was amazed by everything there, all the people marching around, all the people doing different jobs. So I saw a stand for the Royal Navy Reserves and I went over and I spoke to them and I was just amazed, so I signed up there and then.
So how old were you when you joined?
16.
So did you balance that with college?
Yes, balanced that alongside college. I did my basic training in the summer holidays of my first year of my BTECs.
That's good, the flexibility that you've got there.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Amy, you're not reserves, are you?
No, I'm full-time regular.
So how did you join? What was that process like for you? And what made you want to join in the first place?
And so I was doing my A-levels at college and I was deciding whether to go to uni or start looking for a career. I went into an Armed Forces career office and seeing the opportunities they had to do a degree through the Navy and all the sporting opportunities as well just made it the right career for me.
What sporting opportunities?
So I've done a very wide range from things like netball, field gun, show jumping. I now ride for the Navy.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
what's field gun?
So field gun is where you take one of the old cannons apart, put it back together and race against other teams, and it's the quickest.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And also you must make a lot of friends like throughout all your sporting kind of activities
definitely.
As well.
Sporting has definitely been the way I've met a range of people from all different backgrounds and it's just been incredible.
So you got your degree through the Navy. You're doing a degree but not through the Navy, is that correct?
Yes,
What are you studying?
I'm studying intelligence, cybercrime and counter-terrorism.
Oh, so is that something you quite like to go into in the Navy potentially?
Yeah, so after my degree, hopefully I would like to go into the regular service as an officer in that sort of branch.
Yeah. So is it true you both trained at Raleigh?
Yes.
What's the difference between a reservist and a regular then?
So as a reservist, I went to Raleigh and did my basic training for 6 weeks. And I believe you went...
Yeah, mine was a 10-week one.
10 weeks.
Yeah, so I guess yours is more compact.
A bit more intensive.
Yeah.
And what do you actually do at Raleigh then?
So you do a range of stuff. There's a lot of kit you have to do. So I learnt to iron my uniform.
Handy skill for anyone to have.
Yes, yeah, very handy. We did fire, exercises, we did flooding exercises, all of that sort of training. We did fitness tests, a lot of fitness.
How did you find the fitness? You know, because I feel like if we're talking about people joining, they may think maybe it's more male dominated, like the kind of physical stuff. Did you find that hard, or were you keeping up with the boys just as much as anyone else?
Well, I did find it hard because it's very intense.
But it's still doable, and you know,
still
everyone has to do
doable,
it as they go in.
Still doable.
Yeah.
Actually, one girl in my group, I think she got like the second best score in our fitness test. So yeah, so it is doable, definitely.
The boys do help, especially the assault course.
Okay.
They'll help each other
Assault
out.
course,
Like teamwork, camaraderie.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Was there anything different on your 10-week training? Does it sound kind of similar?
I think it's very similar. I learned to shoot as well. I guess you did the ranges
Yeah,
too.
we did do the ranges as well.
And then after that, what's the next level for both of you training-wise?
So for me, I then went on to HMS Sultan, where I learned to be an engineer because I had no engineering qualifications. So they taught 6 months. I just learned how to do basic engineering and get my qualifications and build them up. And each rank I've gone up, I've got more, and it's equated to a degree now as a petty officer.
Okay, and what do you specialise in now then?
So I'm an aircraft engineer working on the Merlin Mark IV helicopter at Commodore Helicopter Force.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Yeah. What's the team like that you work with?
So it's quite male dominated, but we've got a few females in there now. I've done such a range of different things from Norway, Arctic training. We've been on board. Yeah, last year we did 8 months on Queen Elizabeth. So we've done the ships, the desert, and all different things. That's
incredible. What was it like being kind of a part of a small female team, you know, in a wider male landscape?
It's been great. The guys are amazing. There are a lot more women now, and it's good to have that. We all group together and we do different things, like we're going to have girls' spa days and things. Even when you deployed in Norway, we went and had a spa day. We were on exercise clockwork, so that was, it's really good.
Oh, that's so good. And obviously, like, you've been in it for 14 years, right?
Yes.
So you're going to have all this to look forward to. So I guess there's lots more women coming through, and maybe there wasn't when you were first, you know, applying and looking to join. Would you recommend that Liv signs up full time afterwards?
Absolutely, yeah. I've loved the Navy. 14 years of my life, it's just been incredible. And all the opportunities, you just got to grab them. And yeah, it's just great.
Do you think you'll sign up, Liv?
Yes, yeah, I do.
You've done your job. Well, thank you so much. Honestly, that was really insightful. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. I mean, as you can see, there are so many different opportunities for women in the Navy, and we'll be hearing more from Commodore Mel after this.
It's important for women to serve in the Royal Navy because our strength comes from our diversity.
Why should it not be an equal opportunities, and why should we not be here too?
As it offers a more diverse workplace and a different perspective.
We bring a different dynamic. As an engineer, I think it's good to have different voices, and I definitely think that women bring something different to the table.
I think it's important that women serve in the Royal Navy so that they get the same opportunities as everybody else.
Because we're a global service, and to be able to fully achieve that, we have to represent the society that we're part of.
For me, International Women's Day is a day of celebration. It's not just the day, it's a 365-day commitment to doing better by women in the workplace. I looked at big events in history, and we often see women volunteering themselves forwards to make a difference. So pioneering to me goes back hundreds of years rather than to the 30 years that I've been in the Navy. I spent the first half of my career as a regular warfare officer and the second half of my career in the Maritime Reserves. And in that first career as a warfare officer, I was the first woman to command a patrol vessel. One of our smaller ships, but it's still grey, had a ship's company, and its role was to educate students in the benefits of serving in a maritime environment. But command responsibility, so everything that a warfare officer covets. And so in my second career as a reservist, I'm now the commander of the Maritime Reserves. So you scale that up from managing 50 people in a grey small warship to managing 4,000 reservists across 20 establishments in the UK. I wanted to be a mother. I knew that in my early 20s as I joined the Navy. And I knew that being at the forefront of that experience, I was going to have to challenge the status quo and help the Navy understand how it was going to make its policies appropriate to support ambitious women like myself. I was a regular and I'm a reservist. And I'm a reservist because 30 years ago, we did not have the policies in place for regular full-time people to have a career and have a family. That's all very different now. Anything from having babies to having a menopause, I've been through all of it. And here's an organisation that can support you with those experiences, definitely. You need to own your journey. And when you look into an organisation as inclusive as the Royal Navy, I'd encourage people to think big, have a plan. So I am a consummate planner. I knew when I was in Dartmouth as a young officer that I wanted to command a ship. And so I knew that I wanted to go away and have the conversations with the right people to help me understand how I was going to do that. That helped me identify early on where the obstacles were, where the system maybe had to change policies to make that work for me. So sometimes it is asking the captain of the ship, the Commodore of the organisation, to just come down. Would you mind sitting and having 5 minutes with me just to understand my circumstances, understand my hopes and dreams, so that we can take that forward? I joined at 24 as a sub-lieutenant, and I won't disclose my age. I'm in my 50s. But I'm a Commodore. I'm commanding an organisation of 4,000 people, and I have adult children that I've nurtured along that way. So I have had and achieved everything I wanted to in a fantastic career.
We serve on the waves. We serve above the waves. We serve beneath the waves. We are stretcher bearers. We are chefs. We are engineers. We are gunners. We are photographers. We are leaders. We are sailors. We deploy for months on end. We are on the front line. We travel the world. We come home. We remember the fallen. We remain calm under pressure. We fight fires. We save lives. We help those in need. We get to fly and launch and drive this or this. We are inclusive. We are part of a team. We have fun, we run and fight. Fly, sail, lead, save. Love, fight, serve. We are women, and we have served at sea in the Royal Navy for 30 years.
It's really good to hear from Commodore Mel about the Royal Navy's commitment to women, but sometimes our own preconceptions stop us going for roles that were traditionally just for men. So let's meet someone who is a real trailblazer.
Hi, I'm Shannon. I joined the Navy in 2021 as a gunner, and I joined because I wanted a bit of adventure in my life. Being a gunner is not just about looking after your weapons or, cleaning them. It's also like you got to do the AWT side. So a lot of it's not just about gunnery, but it's about identifying friend or foes around you at all times, protecting the ship and shipmates. So I went to America and New York. I really enjoyed doing the technician side. I will never forget that. Even though it's early mornings, long hours, not sleeping enough, I really enjoyed it a lot. When I actually came off ship, I really weirdly enough, I actually missed it. You get a routine, don't you? On base in my, when I was in phase 2 or either on ship, I was the only female gunner there. It's okay actually. Everyone's really supportive, doesn't matter who you are, so I've had very good support from my teammates. Definitely join. Don't let anyone or anything, or even yourself, hold you back. Don't give up and definitely give it a go. You never know. I really enjoy what I do. I love what I do and I'm proud.
I would say to women looking to join the Royal Navy, go for the role that you really want to do, not the role that you think you should do. Your gender will not hold you back.
Make sure you look into each branch and what it has to offer. You won't regret it, just do it.
Be brave and grab the opportunity with both hands and go for anything that the Navy offers you.
What's actually stopping you? Try it. Come and have a look, ask the questions and find out what it's actually about.
Get all the information, do all your research, think about what you want to do and then just do it.
Because looking back, I've not regretted a moment of it, and I'd do it all again in a heartbeat.
From Shannon's experience in the gunnery to Commodore Mel's experience commanding a ship, there is no doubt women are pioneers in the Royal Navy. Let me introduce you to Alice and Alicia.
Hi, I'm Alice and I'm a Petty Officer Writer. I joined the Royal Navy for a varied and exciting career.
Hi, my name is Alicia. I joined the Royal Navy in 2019 as a writer, and I joined up for a more meaningful career.
Alice, Alicia, you've both had very different experiences of joining the Navy. Alice, how did you join?
Yeah, so I joined when I was 22. I left uni, was a bit uncertain as to what it was that I was going to do for my next step. But growing up in Portsmouth, and my father previously served, I think it felt like a natural avenue to explore. So I found myself in Ports of AFCO, finding out what the Navy was all about.
Perfect. I mean, Alicia, was that the same for you?
No, it's completely different to me. Being from a little island in the Caribbean called St. Vincent, which is a part of the Commonwealth, we aren't always given the opportunity to join whenever we want. So we have to wait until they open up to the Commonwealth. So I joined up at 26, actually.
Okay,
yeah, quite late.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at first, I didn't think I would actually be able to make it in the Navy because I always looked at the military as a man's job.
Okay.
I didn't think that I was strong enough or capable of doing all of these things. But I thought about it and I needed more.
Mm-hmm.
I needed more from my career and everything. And then one day I saw on Facebook that it was open to Commonwealth and I just decided to sign up then and there.
I love that. I love that. So something you're like, I'm going to do this.
I'm going to do this.
So when you did sign up, what was the kind of specialisation that you went into?
So initially I signed up as a chef.
Okay.
But when I got into the recruitment process, I actually got the opportunity to branch transfer.
Yeah.
So I'm a writer now.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And good to know that you can kind of go in and then also do something else if there's something you're more interested in.
Yes.
So Alice, what did you specialise in?
So I'm a writer as well.
And what does that actually mean?
So we deal with admin and HR, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like marketing or press releases, it's more...
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay,
So
that
yeah,
makes
we're
sense.
we look after the personnel, whether it be on board ship, with their pay and allowances, and the same for shoreside as well.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so how did you find that experience? Have you decided to transfer at all? Have you kept with that?
I've stayed as a writer. I joined up as one and I'm still a writer now.
And
yeah.
have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It felt like the natural road to go down.
Yeah.
But I wish I just explored that bit more just to, work out as to whether engineering would have been for me.
Yeah. And Alicia, you kind of mentioned in your last answer that you felt like maybe a bit of hesitation, that you thought it was a bit of a man's world. I mean, how did you kind of overcome that?
The physical part was challenging for me.
Right, okay.
That was definitely the biggest challenge for me, but I smashed it.
Yeah. yes, you absolutely did. And how was moving away from like your family as well in the beginning?
That was very hard.
Yeah.
One of the biggest decisions and the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in my life. But I wouldn't change it. I would do it all over again for a career in the Navy.
I mean, the Navy is a career that kind of takes you everywhere. I mean, Alice, did you find that, having to go on board ships, would you miss your family back home?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think I find that too to be one of the most challenging aspects of being in the Navy. It's tough missing those back home.
Yeah.
But when you're on board, I'm sure you'll agree,
yes.
You just become, you've got all of those people around you every single day, and the bonds that you make,
It's like you become your own little family there.
You do, yeah.
I mean, it's like your chosen family a little bit, isn't it? Because you have to be the ones to kind of like support each other and
everyone
have a
looks
laugh
out for
with
one another.
Yeah. So Alicia, I feel like congratulations in order. You've just got married.
Thank you.
True?
Yes, yes.
How do you find that balance?
It is difficult. I actually just got married this year. So having to leave my brand new husband back home in St. Vincent was a bit challenging, but he's going to be able to move to the UK to be with me eventually, so that will be a plus.
And Alice, you also had big news recently. You're now a mother. Congratulations.
Yes, yeah, we've had our first little boy. Yeah,
How old?
Joseph. He's now 14 months, yes.
So how did you find that, being in the Navy, balancing career and being a new mum?
Yeah, it's had its challenges, but it's been fantastic. I was really lucky. I was able to spend 11 months off of him for my maternity leave. My other half was actually serving with Alicia when I was due our baby, and he got flown home from their deployment so that he could be there for the birth.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We actually just found this out this morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that they're going to be kind of like flexible with marriage, family, home, motherhood.
Yeah, we've been really lucky so far,
Yes, very fortunate.
Very lucky. So people wanting to join up and maybe might consider that in the future, there is that option to balance family life and work as well.
Yes. I feel like there is,
definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you
for having us.
Around 10% of Royal Navy personnel are women, and there is no doubt that fairness and inclusion are a big focus. So here's Janine to tell us more.
Hi, I'm Janine. I joined the Navy in 2001. I joined as a writer. Why I joined the Navy? I was looking for adventure, challenge, something different, something that would up my skills, adventurous training, and most importantly, travel and see the world. I believe equity and fairness in the Navy, especially for me, means being able to feel a sense of belonging when you feel that things working for you and opportunities are there for you and you can take those opportunities and flourish and succeed. Naturally, I'm an open person, so I engage and I'm not afraid to talk about like uncomfortable questions. I try and bring gender issues into the workplace because sometimes I feel people are uncomfortable to talk about it. There isn't a topic off the gender. Currently, I'm in a race and ethnicity advocacy role, supporting networks, encouraging open conversation, kind of like mediating a little bit, myth busting, fact finding. Holding people to account if they say they're going to do something. Our message is education and awareness and empowering chains of command to make little changes within their workplace. I think as an organisation, we always focused on the strategic top level changes, which are really important because they have a greater impact on everyone. But I think affecting people's everyday lives and making them feel happier is what we need to be aiming for. It's a different conversation from when I joined to now. My advice is be open, be curious, and take on every opportunity because you never know. One job could be an opening door to another. So yeah, I would definitely encourage someone to join the Navy. So I joined the Navy at 19. I originally came from Zimbabwe and I started my training at HMS Raleigh, which was great. I've served on ships, frigates and destroyers abroad, and my career progressed really great. I was so happy with the opportunities. I made the most of them. Volunteered for everything, and I think it accelerated my life in the UK journey because I get to meet people from all over the UK and abroad, and get to travel with them and get to live in close proximity with them. That forces you to learn about each other and also learn about myself. After a while I realized that I'm unique and I'm special and I should just embrace my own culture and who I am. I've had a really, really good career, lots of opportunities. Yeah, I think that's basically my career.
The Royal Navy has given me the opportunity to go back to university twice since joining. This has enabled me to increase my clinical skills for when I'm deployed.
I've been able to bear flags at the London 2012 Olympics. I've managed to go off on deployments either on land or at sea.
I've been across the world to countries you wouldn't have even heard of.
So I'm very grateful to the Navy because it's been flexible and been able to give me a fulfilling career around all of my needs.
In a moment, we'll be hearing about the support network available for women across the Royal Navy, and we'll meet Hannah, who serves with her musical talent in the Royal Marines Band. But first...
Hi, I'm Hannah and I joined the Royal Marines Band Service in 2016. I joined because I wanted to be a full-time professional musician. I came across the band service. I went and watched their concert when I was in college and I thought, that's the job I want to do, that's for me. I got into the music scene very much since a young child, doing everything and anything I could do because it was great fun. I got to do lots of opportunities as a kid as well, and it kept me out of trouble, my parents would say. The band that I saw was pretty much equal to men and women. Women joined the band service sort of late 1990s. That meant when I was then looking to join, which was sort of 2015-ish, women were pretty heavily involved in it at that point. So, you know, they'd been in for years and years before I looked at it. For myself, I am actually the only female in the percussion section across the entire band service. Tenor drum is specifically for percussionists. That's me in the tiger skin, yes. Being a military musician, essentially we get to do the same sorts of music as you would if you were in a big band or a brass band or a concert band, but we also then do the parade band. And then obviously you've got the green side, so you've got our military roles, our secondary roles. If you wanted to, you could do a music degree and get that funded. So you've got plenty of options for your own progression. I would say if you love music and you want to travel and you want opportunities and you want to do sport and you want to have a stable income, then join. Do it. Every year we have our Mountbatten Festival of Music. I luckily have been selected each year from when I came out of training to sing for it. So I have sang sort of the past 4 years on the stage at the Royal Albert Hall. So yeah, it's incredible. It's my favourite gig of the year for sure.
Holy days are over, and love is love.
It's been an incredible year for really monumental, proud sort of moments in my career. Being able to say that I've been on those parades is just incredible. Like, it's something I'll never ever forget. Obviously we've got the coronation coming up as well, so hopefully I will be on that again on tenor drum. You're a part of history with it and you don't quite realise it when you're doing it, but looking back on it and looking forward to it as well, you realise the significance of it. But when you come away from it, that's when it's like, wow, that was incredible. Yeah.
From musicians to gunners, Commodores to recruiters and ratings to mums, all of our women serving in the Royal Navy deserve to be supported.
My name's Rachel. I joined the Royal Navy in 2016 as a writer, but I'm now a training manager. And I joined the Royal Navy for a more adventurous way of life.
Hello Rachel, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So, you're a big fan of the Naval Servicewomen's Network, aren't you?
That's right, yeah.
Can you tell me what it is that it actually does?
Yes, so for me it's quite personal. In 2018 I felt very lost and I was in a bit of a slump, didn't know what I wanted to do. The Naval Service Women's Network gave me a lot of support and helped me get to where I am today. And that all started with a chat over a coffee with then Commander Smallwood, and she asked me to help assist her in revamping the Naval Service Women's Network. And through that, I was given a bit of a voice and I was given a lot of opportunities that weren't open to me before. Leading meetings and workshops and briefing admirals, it gave me the confidence and the skill set to take control of my career and retake what I needed to get to where I need to be.
So is it a bit more of like a support network? Is that the main objective?
I think it can be what you need it to be. If it's just sometimes social, for me, it was more of a career progression and development kind of network. It can be whatever that person needs it to be. It's very much robust like that, yeah.
And it must be so needed when such a small percentage of the Navy is currently women. Did you find it's quite useful for a lot of people? Obviously it's useful for yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's not uncommon to be the only woman in a room sometimes. I think it's just highlighting that we are there, we are doing great things, for example. And just because you're in the 10% doesn't mean you haven't got a voice. In 2018, it was more pertinent when we got the announcement that women could join every role in the military. And that was massive. So that it is needed more than ever.
I feel that's quite late as well, 2018.
Yeah, the British military is a little behind the curve compared to some other countries, but that decision that was made has finally opened the door for every single role. So there's no excuse for us. We can do whatever we want to.
That's great. And where did your passion for supporting women come from then?
So to be honest with you, it was the women that came before me. It was my gratitude for them. So the Wrens, the first females that went on ships and served in that sense, they had to endure a lot for me to wear this rig. This isn't a given that I'm wearing this rig right now. It's not a given that I can go on ships and submarines. That's all been a struggle. So I want to repay the women that did that for me. And I do believe there's a lot of females of all ages sat at home wondering about a life in the military, but they just don't see themselves, or they might have been talked out of it. I do believe that women join what they can see. So it's just about spreading the word that this is a career definitely suitable for a female.
Is it trying to bring more women into the workforce? Is that, seeing them in different roles so, young people can see, oh, I can do that, because there are women there? Absolutely, yeah. I do believe that women bring a lot to the armed forces as well. And to get that number over 10% would be fantastic. So it's raising the awareness that we are here. We're hopefully not going anywhere, and hopefully, we're very much open to all. And it's good to know that there might be people watching at home that would like a mentor and know that they won't be alone if they join, and there are other women. So no, that's such an amazing thing. Thank you so much for letting me know about that.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the Naval Servicewomen's Network is pioneered by Commander Lucy Otley, who has had an incredible 22-year career and counting.
Anywhere that anybody is working, there should be access to the Naval Service Women's Network. And we still live by that feeling of share, inspire, empower on everything we do. And ultimately just want to improve the lived experience of service women across defence as well as the Royal Navy in everything that they do. My day job is being in a very high readiness operational logistics headquarters. We're currently deployed in Mali and bringing some army contingent back from Mali, and we're also preparing to be the NATO readiness force in 2024 and exercising with our NATO counterparts across this year. So it's busy. You could absolutely make this a full-time job, but you have one of those already, so you just have to have a bit of balance and look for volunteers. There's a lot of service people that are very supportive of the network, and you can't do it all yourself, but there are a lot of people willing to volunteer. So I'm very grateful for all the people on our committee and come forward to volunteer and help us. You never really think about the change you've made until you look back and reflect slightly. And I've been very lucky that in the time that I've been with the network, there've been a lot of opportunities to make change. We've been actively involved in changing policy for the benefit of all the workforce, but particularly with service women in mind, which is fantastic. Within a year of joining up, I was in a war zone and qualifying for medals and doing sort of fairly exciting things and going to some exciting places. Places that were never on the bucket list to go to, but some of them were exciting things, but places that I still feel are very interesting for lots of reasons and very culturally dynamic. So I feel like you get a real education, and it's a really fascinating way of life. So I've been very lucky. I wanted to stay in the front line early years, so I've volunteered for all of those roles. A woman's place is on every ship. I truly believe that's changed a lot since the 23 years that I've been in. People that have worked previously on all male ships or single gender ships have even said it's a better workforce and it's a more efficient working environment, working in a mixed crew than just a single gender crew. So that's lovely feedback, and that's not from service women, that's from male counterparts, which is fantastic to hear.
One of my proudest achievements was coming into Portsmouth Harbour and all the families waiting on the dock for us.
Undertaking a non-combatant evacuation from Benghazi in Libya in 2011. That was really rewarding and fulfilling, and it felt wonderful to be part of global events.
And also representing the Royal Navy at the highest level in my sport of show jumping.
My proudest moment from being in the Royal Navy was becoming a specialist operating theatres nurse.
It was when I joined my first ship. I'd done all the training for a year, built up to this moment of going away.
If you like the idea of serving in the Royal Navy, you can find out more by clicking Express Your Interest on your screen now. This doesn't commit you to anything, but it does mean you'll get the information you need about the right career pathway for you. And don't forget, you can talk to a recruiter one-on-one in the chat.
The advice that I would give to my younger self is don't hesitate, just do it. Take absolutely every opportunity that you can to travel, do the deployments, get on those platforms and ships, and just go for it.
To be enthusiastic about everything and take every opportunity that you can. You won't regret it.
Just go for it. Don't listen to what other people say and go and make your own experiences. Live your life to the fullest.
Welcome back, everyone. It's been lovely chatting to you today. Speaking to all of you, you all had different experiences. Would you say that being a woman's ever held you back in the Navy? Rachel?
No, I don't think it has. The door is very much open. There are definitely the support, the mentoring is there. Since 2018, that was sort of the pinnacle, really, where they said there's nothing now that you can't do, that a man can do. There's still going to be a few more female firsts, appreciate that. But ultimately, no, I think I didn't join till 2016. So I know you've obviously, Amy, you've joined earlier on.
Yes, I joined in 2008. Obviously, for me, joining the engineering branch, women were a minority, but there's more and more coming through all the time. And it's great to see the range of people we've got coming through. And I know, obviously, there's different in the reserves for you, Liv.
Yeah.
There's more women, isn't there?
Yeah, the percentage is around 15% of women in the reserves. So there is more representation of women. Yeah, it's still male dominated. But I don't think it's held me back or made me feel any different.
Yeah, and that's so good that you've got the people to kind of like look up to as well. What would you say the ratio kind of women to men are potentially like the writers department?
There's a lot more females, I think, in our branch compared to the engineers. I've been alongside more females, like in the unit personnel office and what have you. I have deployed just with males when I went away with a French ship, with a squadron. But that for me was absolutely fine. I didn't feel on my own. I was away with them for 6 months, and I felt like I was integrated with the men. Yeah, so I don't know about you on board ship, but
yeah, so I've done a 7-month deployment.
Time.
Yeah, and that was for me, it was rewarding. So it's being a woman, it has definitely not held me back. If there's anything, I think it pushed me more because I've done things I never thought I could have done. Like on board, we have secondary duties like firefighting. Like I never thought I would have actually been able to fight an actual fire.
And here you are.
And here I am, yeah. So yeah, if there's anything, it's definitely pushed me more.
I mean, that's amazing. And also just discussing life on board. What is that like? Because I'd want to get my hair done at some point in 7 months. How was that for you, Alicia?
It is there. Yeah, we have you. When you're on board, it's like you create your own little family, basically, because you live with these people. These are the only people you see for like 6-7 months. So you create friendships and everything, and you could definitely get your hair done. You could definitely get your brows done.
We did a 10-week continuous sailing for some sea trials, and I've always wanted to cut hair, and I just everyone just sort of trusted me, and I cut my cabin mate's hair. And when I asked her how much does she want me to take off, she said an iPhone length. I don't actually have an iPhone, so I just went for it. But yeah.
Did it look good?
So I thought she was happy with it, but the professional hairdresser did say like, who's been at your hair with the scissors. But it was just a fun experience.
Yeah, and everyone gets. I mean, you're all
out,
seeing each other together as well. It's not like
Yeah.
you're getting dolled up every day, so you can, if you chop an inch of someone's hair, it doesn't really matter. Does it?
You've got another 7 months for it to
Yeah,
go.
Perfect. Do what you like. And I heard you can get your lashes or eyebrows done as well.
Yeah, on Op Fortis I did learn to become a brow technician, unqualified, I would say. But yeah, we all just muck in and we just have a go and we just help each other out, and it's great. It's just fun, something to do in the evenings, and you all just become beauty technicians.
I don't think it'll be a branch in the Navy anytime
I was
soon.
about to say, opening up a little salon. Speaking about life on board, how was it, kind of the downtime? What is it that you guys are getting up to?
So I think I'm lucky because I'm an aircraft engineer, so I'm always based on aircraft platforms. We've got a flight deck that we can utilise for sunbathing.
Great.
We always take a blow-up pool with us so we can fill up on our days off when the aircraft aren't flying. We have a nice sunbathing day.
In the middle of the sea?
In the middle of the sea, Caribbean, and play some sport and get our tan on. It's great.
Oh, I want to
Really
do
good.
that. I want to do that. Alice, would you say that you're proud to be a woman in the Royal Navy?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'd say so. I think I look back at how far women have come in the Royal Navy to allow us to be sat here now talking about deployments we've been on, being engineers in the Navy, etc. But I also feel proud that, I look at my father and my grandfather who served, and I look at them and I think, with such pride. And I have a picture of them on my table at home. And now having a little one, I think, I hope one day he feels the same about his mum and dad, who are both serving when he was born. So yeah, I do. I have a great sense of pride about being a woman in the Navy.
I'm definitely proud. Having,
As you should be.
coming all the way from St. Vincent and taking that big step, and also being the first from my family to actually join the military, and especially going back home. And my mom, she is always so proud. She's like, this is my daughter, she's in the Navy.
Showing your family on
yes. And that just makes me feel really good that she's looking at that and she's recognizing that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's lovely. Everyone else around you being like friends and family. What about you, Rachel?
Yeah, pride plays a huge part in my motivation. I just don't think you can replicate that in other jobs, and every time I put on my uniform, like, the novelty hasn't worn off for me. It's very much still a pride thing, and I think just seeing it in your family's faces as well. They love to talk about what their daughter does in the Navy, and my mum very much will try and shoehorn that into any conversation, whether it's relevant or not, which I always find quite amusing.
You're all the mantelpieces, I bet.
Yes.
And what about from an engineering point of view?
Yeah, I'm proud to be a woman in the Navy and an engineer in the Navy. I joined up not having any qualifications engineering-wise, and I've now got a degree, so I'm really proud of myself for that.
Such an accomplishment.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And Liv, you're obviously just starting your kind of naval journey, been in the reserves, and you also did that alongside college, which is mega. You must feel super proud of yourself.
Yeah, I do feel proud, definitely. I feel proud every time I put on my uniform. I was in part of the Queen's Jubilee.
That's incredible.
And when I had my uniform on, marching down the mile, I was just like amazed. I was like, it's so cool. Like,
it is,
I
and none of
feel
your
so
friends would
proud.
be doing that either.
No, definitely. Like, the only one of my peers. So, yeah.
You should all be so proud of yourselves. I mean, what would you say to anyone kind of like thinking about joining, hovering over that button, ready to sign up? What are you saying to them?
Definitely go for it.
It's just about being brave and taking advantage of the many opportunities that the Navy's got to offer.
Well worth it then?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Well, thank you so much for chatting to me, guys. It's been very inspiring.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of our guests here in the studio and in Portsmouth for joining us to celebrate International Women's Day. Don't forget, whatever your gender, you can stay online and find out more about how to join. A final poll is about to pop up on your screen, and we would love to get your thoughts on a career in the Royal Navy after watching this event. See you next time.
Perfect, got that.